Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final part in the series of forecasting room availability videos. My name is Dr. Samir Divanji, and I'm going to take you through the third and the final part of forecasting room availability. So let's see what we're going to do. We're going to do a quick recap of the concept of forecasting with benefits, useful forecasting data, and room availability forecast. Today, we are also going to look at formulae and forecast sample formats. So we said that forecasting is an activity which is extremely important for any hotel, any department. In fact, I also told you as a country, we do economic forecasts, we do forecasts on various produce, various manufacturing industries also. So basically prediction, projection, and planning. These are the key three P words for forecasting. So forecasting is a process of making predictions of the future based on past and present data, and most importantly, analysis of data and trends. So we looked at various benefits, how a revenue manager benefits from forecasting, selective overbooking can be done. We know what are the lean dates, what are the sold out dates. We can plan our resources well. We can do our staffing properly. We can look at our inventory properly. We can plan group arrivals, VIP arrivals. All that is the benefit of forecasting. We also looked at forecasting data, which is important and useful, and by virtue of which we can forecast. So we have to have a thorough knowledge of the city, of our product, of our competition, of our target clientele, big events in the city, big events in the competition hotels, big events in our hotel. We have to have data of your no-shows, overstays, understays, turn down, all these things. We have to know our plan in terms of renovations, refurbishments. We need to know exactly what the competition is doing, the new hotels opening in the city, and various such statistics. All right. For room availability, we need exactly past data or historic data, as we say, and that historic data should be of last year, last month, exactly last year, this month, current month, etc. All right. So number of arrivals, walk-ins, understays, checkouts, no-shows, overstays, cancellations. All this data will help us make good room forecast. All right, RPD, rooms per day. To forecast good RPD, we need all this data. All right, so let's look at some formulae. We'll look at these simple ones: walk-in percentage, understay percentage, no-show percentage, and overstay percentage. All right, so let's see how we calculate this. All right, so obviously here I want you to know that by simple logic, numerator is the same. The term itself, walk-in percentage, has number of walk-ins in the numerator. We have to look at what is the denominator in each case now. All right. So if you think logically, obviously you will get that without mugging it up really. So as I said, the numerator is the problem itself. So walk-in percentage has number of walk-ins, understay percentage has number of understays, no-show percentage has number of no-shows as the numerator, and into 100 since it's a percentage. So it's only the denominator that you have to look. So let's go and see what we have done. So as I said, walk-in percentage is equal to number of walk-ins divided by number of arrivals, because that's what we are looking at. Walk-ins are guests who arrive without room booking or reservation, right? So we have to look at the walk-ins vis-a-vis the total number of arrivals, remember? So walk-ins, arrivals, this is the most logical thing that you have to look at, all right? When we say room occupancy percentage, we say rooms sold or occupied divided by total rooms available into 100. Similarly, walk-in percentages, number of walk-ins divided by number of arrivals into 100. So how many out of the arrivals today? 40 guests arrived. Out of that, how many were walk-ins? So we had 4 walk-ins. So out of 40. So that's a 10% into 100. Yeah, so 10%. So this is walk-in percentage. All right. We look at understay percentage now. As I said, understay percentage, straight away first, you know the numerator is total number of understays. All right. Now, understays, how do you define them? The guests who were supposed to check out but did not. guests who are supposed to stay, but they did not. All right. So they actually departed, or they want to check out early than their scheduled day of departure. All right. So they are booked for 3 nights, but they stay for 2 nights only. So you see them featuring in the checkouts. So then understays is understay percentage is equal to total number of understays divided by total number of checkouts into 100. For walk-ins, we looked at total number of arrivals. For understays, we are looking at the checkout, because they are guests who are actually checking out a day prior. So they feature in the checkouts. Actually, they should have featured in the stayovers, right? Or in-house guests, because they are staying over. But actually they decide to understay or cut their stay, curtailment. They go 1 night or 2 nights prior to their original date of departure. So I repeat, understay percentage is equal to total number of understays divided by total number of checkouts into 100. Moving on, no-show percentage. Again, no-shows are guests who have made a reservation but do not show up or do not arrive at the hotel for check-in. So the definition itself says that it's a guest who has made a reservation. So the formula is no-show percentage equals number of no-shows divided by number of reservations into 100. So for no-shows, we look at the reservations. For walk-ins, we looked at the arrivals. For understays, we looked at the departures. Similarly, overstay. Overstay also, like understay, we look at the checkouts. So overstay percentage, is defined as guests who extend their stay over and beyond their date of departure. All right. So total number of overstays equals, overstay percentage equals total number of overstays divided by total number of checkouts. All right. So you had expected so many guests to check out, but these overstays did not, into 100. So that is the basic formulas I wanted to take you through. Some books refer as forecasting sample formats, your 15-day format, 30-day format, and 90-day forecasting format. All right. So there are various such of tools which are used in the hotels. Today, of course, because of PMS and computerized system, all this is available as formats on the system in the software. All right. So all the data that we spoke about, the forecast data, the room availability data, all that data helps us make forecasts per day. So we make a 15-day forecast, we make a 30-day forecast, and 90-day forecasts. This would be typically 30 days and 90 days would be a little long term, but short-term forecasts are also 3-day, 7-day, 10-day, and 15-day. All right. So you have all the information, all the data, group information, transient guest information. All right. So long-term forecasts, as I said, 30-day, 90-day, and 12-month rolling annual budget or marketing plan. So this is like a when we did budgets, we said this is an annual budget where you forecast the rooms that you will do, you'll forecast the ARRs that you will do, and your total room revenue. All right. So it's a yearly plan. All right. So these are forecasts. So budget also is a forecast, right? Correct. So the 30-day forecast is primarily used to monitor individual group bookings. And at this point, all groups should have their rooming lists in or have made their reservation. So remember the wash factor that I spoke about. Here, 30 days is good time for the group to confirm the rooms. They may have blocked 50 rooms, but now is the time when they need to confirm and pay for whatever rooms from the block. So they may go as low as 40 rooms or 45 rooms and say, listen, we've blocked 50, but we are taking up only 40 or 45. So that's your wash factor. 90-day forecast is the primary yield management indicator. Historical data, reservations department uses that historical data to estimate for group rooms. So you know your transient guest needs, or your FITs, and then you have your groups. So you can decide accordingly. All right, so this is just a little introduction to these formats. As I said, they are more available online and on your systems in whatever PMS you have in your hotel. So there's a short quiz that we've made, which you can attempt. The link is in the description. And this is all about forecasting. It's just an overview, of course. In reservations or as an HOD in front office or as a revenue manager, you go into much more depth in terms of forecasting. Otherwise, this overview is good for you at this stage. So thank you for your time. I hope you have gathered basic information, and I hope you'll continue getting more knowledge, more experience, and start working in hotels, maybe in the department of your choice. Could be revenue management or reservations, where forecasting will play a key role. Thank you.